Welcome to City League Sports. Today we give love to some Panthers from Linden-McKinley and celebrate their accomplishments. I am your host, Dr. Vince Clarino, and today we are honored to have a trio of special guests. Joining us today are Linden-McKinley Panthers head boys basketball coach Kevin Darthard and first team All-City players L.B. Towns and L.A. Walker. Everybody say hello something. Coach, we'll go with you first. Just say hello. Say hello to everybody here that's listening.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here. Once again, anything that can positively shine a light on the program and these great young men, I'm all for.
Appreciate it. We'll turn here. Go ahead, L.A.
What's up, man? How y'all doing? I'm good.
There
good
you
to
go.
Be here.
Okay.
Oh, what up with y'all? I'm in the building.
Yes, indeed. There you go. So we got some Panthers here in the house, and I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to start throwing some curveballs at you all because I think this is a great way to start off. Because I don't know if you really know this, but Linden-McKinley has like this amazing history from a community standpoint, but from an athletic standpoint. And so I'm going to put you two on the spot for a moment. Are y'all history buffs? Are y'all doing well in history class? We'll start with L.A. L.A., are you a history guy?
No.
No, not a history guy. LB, you a history guy? Sort of a history guy. Okay. So right now I want to share with you just in my initial notes, they've shared with me that LA, you're the quiet one, and LB, you're the talker, but you're not saying much. You give me a couple short one-word answers, LB. So are you with us here? You okay today?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So here's how I'm going to start off from a history piece. I want to show you all a picture. You tell me if you recognize the person in the photo, okay? And then I'll let our listeners know. Do you recognize this person, LB?
Yes, sir.
LA, you recognize this person? Coach, you recognize this person?
Of course.
Okay, so the picture I'm showing them is of a gentleman who was formerly with the Los Angeles Lakers, a guy that we all know named Kobe Bryant. Played for the Los Angeles Lakers, had a storied career. And so I've only shown them one half of the picture because now I'm going to show them the full picture and see if they know the guy standing next to Kobe Bryant. Now, do you know this other guy here?
Yes, sir.
Do you know this other guy here?
Yeah.
Coach, do you know this other guy?
Yep.
Tell our listeners who's this guy standing next to Kobe Bryant here in this photo.
Jim Clemens, the great Linden alumni, Jim Clemens, and just an excellent man. He's been with the program. He's came out and talked and shared some insight. And with me being obviously older than these guys, they know Michael Jordan is the GOAT forever, always. It doesn't matter who they bring up. So as I told Jim, I'm like, when he first started coming around and talking, I'm like, Jim, I don't think you understand. Like I'm on cloud 9 right now. You coach Jordan. I got Jordan in the man cave. I got Jordan up on my wall.
Certainly.
So they know, they've been over. So yeah, he's a wonderful man.
Okay. We'll turn to you, LA. Tell me, what do you know about Mr. Jim Clemens? Obviously, Coach is sharing that you've had a chance to meet him. Just whatever pops in your mind. Jim Clemens, we're showing Jim Clemens a little bit of love here. He's a Panther. You're a Panther. We're just showing him some love. So what pops in your mind when you see that photo of him standing next to, obviously, basketball royalty, Kobe Bean Bryant?
Linden legend, one of Coach the greats. Jim Clemens.
There you go, LB. What you got? They say you talk a lot. Come on, give me something here. What do you get when you see this photo? Like, does this help make it real for you? Have you ever seen a photo like this of Jim?
No, I actually never seen that photo, actually. But Jim Clemens, when he comes around us, he don't really talk as much. And, like, you wouldn't even know, like, he's there for real. Like, he's real quiet. But, like, when he does get to talk to us, he does, like, he gives us something, like, new, like every time he talks about us.
Okay.
And like he always helps us.
So let me help put it into context for you. And by no means am I speaking for Jim, right? But to be able to fully understand, like Jim was on all of Phil Jackson's coaching staffs that coached for the Bulls and then went over to the Lakers. Jim, obviously a Linden grad, went on and played at Ohio State, but he's been around the game. And one of the things that we're blessed, that you all are blessed with, is the opportunity to have Jim be somebody that's just real and alive, right? You can see him, touch him. He comes to games. He shows up and he's personable. And so I think it's important for you to be able to sometimes understand this, because Jim is a guy. He grew up in the Linden neighborhood, like so many other young people, and he done. He used basketball as a catalyst to change his life. Basketball is changing your lives, and so I want you to know that you also, right? Like this is in your Linden DNA.
Yep.
Right. This is a part of it. So you don't have to limit your dreams to say, well, I'm over here on the north side of Columbus, Ohio, right? And so because you can go and do whatever it is that shows up in your dreams at night, you can do those things. So, Coach, share with me a little bit about dreams, kind of where it is with your team, how you guys get going. Just give me some energy stuff. Just let us know a little bit about Linden-McKinley Panthers, what you all are doing, and go from there.
Every year I try to do something to improve the program. So we brung another Linden legend and an alumni that had a connection with the, elder alumni from Linden, Don Sellers. So he's came and helped out this year, and he's brung him to practices. This is the most Clemens ever been around. Not around a whole lot, but he's bringing the practices. He'll sit there and watch. He'll chime in. Been at games. The 1967, 4 or 5 of the 1967 team, the state championship team, came and talked to us before the Hartley game.
Nice, okay.
And brung us out, gave us a good message before he came out. So I thought
history is a part of your cloth then. I mean, these are things that you're doing on your own. You didn't know I was going to talk about that today. So history is a part of your cloth.
Oh, no, for sure. These kids, coming to Linden, I always say these are kings and queens, and they come from that cloth. So providing an opportunity for them to see that from the alumni and just consistently talking about what Linden is and how great Linden is, and just and that's on and off the court.
Certainly.
It's bigger than basketball. That's 100%. On and off the court. We're going to work hard on the court, but just letting them know the cloth that they come from and how great the Linden community is. And that was my goal for 4 years, to just make sure everyone understands what Linden, the word is restore order. That's the phrase. I
love it. Okay.
Restore order. And these young men has done it.
Certainly.
4 years.
Well, and I'm going to keep us on this history theme for a moment. If I shared with you all, as current Panthers representing Linden-McKinley basketball, right? If I shared with you that 10 seasons ago, Linden-McKinley went 1-19 on the season. What does that say to you, LA? 1-19, 10 years ago, right? So, when you hear that and then knowing where you're at now and where the program has come and you being a part of that legacy, and schools can have different periods of legacies. They can go up, they can go down, they can go up and go down. And then right now there was a time that Linden was down. So 10 seasons ago, 1-13. And then now a winning season every year you've been at Linden. What does that say to you?
Hard work pays off. Keep working. Things going to get good eventually.
Okay. So hard work pays off. LB, what you got? What does it mean to you to be a part of restoring order? Restoring order. What does it mean for you to be a part of that and knowing that just even 10 seasons ago, that 1-19 season, and now here you are and winning seasons every year that you've been a part of the program. What does that say to you?
It really means a lot. It really shows about what you can do on and off the court, that you can really bring change. Like, you can really do stuff that no one has really seen before, and do the unbelievable.
Okay, I like that. when you start talking about unbelievables, right? Hey, that gave me a little chill going through me just now. And I'll put even a plug in for us as a school. Just that's the power of one.
Yes.
Right. When you begin to understand your contribution, what you do, and then collectively when you come together, the entire team is that much stronger because you've sort of done your part, right?
Yes.
So 1-19, 10 seasons ago. Now you fast forward, and Coach, I was reading some notes on you. And so what happened, I read 2 or 3 different things, and you have come out and you said a number of times that you're big on discipline and consistency. Yeah. I read that in 2 or 3 different things. Tell me about that part of your DNA that says consistency and discipline and how that carries over. I'm going to ask these young guys how that carries over into their life.
Well, it's everything. That's what I'm built on personally as a man. That's how any success that I've had has manifested. Staying disciplined, staying consistent, no matter what. I always tell them, stay somewhere in the middle. You're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days. Don't never get too high. Don't never get too low. Stay somewhere in the middle and keep it up. You don't waver. You don't waver through bad times.
Love it.
And you don't have success and say, I can take breaks.
Right.
So you stay disciplined and consistent. That's what we do. That's what I preached day in and day out. Like I said, on the court, we're going to work, and we're basically going to work 365 days a year. LB, LA, these two are here. We're talking about these two legends. LA's the one that started our 5:30 a.m. workouts.
Okay.
As a sophomore, he said, Coach, can we get in there at 5? Can we get in there at 5:30 a.m.? I'm not a morning guy. I teach down the street at Hamilton. I'm like, is this guy really wants to get up at 5:30?
Certainly.
And he did, and he started that.
Okay.
LB, he gets up at 5 with his family and runs miles at the high school.
Yes, indeed.
So, and then he just worked and worked and worked. Big thing with LB, for instance, was just building up his body. And through the COVID year, we hit the weight room hard. And
it
of
shows
course on the court.
For those of you that can't see these young people, it shows. And I remember LB when he wasn't this nice rounded out tough. You know what I mean? Tough basket.
Look like a little boy.
Yes, indeed.
He still do.
Yeah, but no, he's tough. I get it. So I understand.
Yeah, so discipline. That's just what
Certainly.
we do, and then that trickles into the every day going to school. That trickles into study table and after school, staying disciplined and consistent. To practice, staying disciplined and consistent. To the game.
Okay.
And then hopefully that encompasses their whole life, and then you become a disciplined and consistent man or young man.
I love that right there.
You know what I mean?
So LB, we're gonna start with you on this one. Give our listeners some energy, some perspective into, like, Coach is talking about discipline and consistency. Give me a basketball discipline or consistency thought that pops into your mind, something about your game, and then give me a life piece, right? If there's something that in life where you've seen the benefits of discipline and consistency. So let's start with the game first. This because we're talking sports also. We're talking life and we're talking sports. So give me some sports stuff. Discipline or consistency?
I would just say, like, practices or just being consistent in practice, coming every day, work hard, being disciplined in practice is going to pay off in the game.
Okay.
It's going to pay off. And then I'll also say, like, out of sports, like, you could say, like, in class, being consistent, doing your work, being respectful, all that stuff is gonna pay off also.
I love it.
Grades, with college and stuff, that's all gonna pay off, being disciplined.
Okay. LA, we turning to you. Give me basketball, and I get it, right? So LB gave us the like that big overview, team, practice, energy, consistent, what the team comes in and does every day, but I want to personalize it for you. So bring it home, basketball, discipline and consistent. Like, when you walk into the gym, is there anything that you're saying to yourself, I want to work on this aspect of my game today, or this is the energy that I'm going to bring? Share with us, a little bit about discipline and consistency from your perspective.
So when I walk into practice this year, I really tried to pick it up on the defense aspect this year, because I know last year I was a little iffy on defense, but I really do want to show, like, people, like, I can play defense too.
Love it.
As much as I can play offense. And, like, as far as, like, being disciplined and staying consistent, as far as, like, school and stuff, turning in work on time. Because sometimes I procrastinate. I procrastinate a lot.
Okay.
So my mom staying on me, my dad staying on me.
Good support system. Okay.
Turning stuff up on time, then hard work pays off.
I love it. So it's beautiful to hear you say that, because one of the first things that any person needs to be able to do to have growth is be able to self-identify where they struggle.
We call it look yourself in the mirror. I always say that. Look yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Look yourself in the mirror and just be real with yourself.
Right.
And I say that all the time.
So to hear LA say that, right? And so now what you have to understand, right, and for you is that you take those pieces that your support system are providing you, and you turn that into your own character, right? And that just becomes a part of your DNA, who you are, right? So staying along those lines, right? You talked about, like, the program, restoring order, those things, changing the program in general, right? Do you see, as the program has changed, because you all are living it right now, so sometimes it's maybe hard to see it when you're living it. Do you see the program changing, and do you see the connection that it has maybe on the community and the school? We're going to start with you, LA. Do you see it changing? Is it changing before your eyes? Is it something you can feel and touch and see?
A lot of people, they doubt us. They stereotype us as the community we live in. And sometimes it happens, and we just got to live through it and just fight through it.
Certainly. So, LB, we'll turn to you. In speaking to change and the program changing, is it something? Can you feel? Do you feel like it's changing? Can you understand the importance of what's taking place, or are you just so caught up in the storm right now that maybe you don't see? And it's okay. This is not. I'm not trying to trick you guys, and because I'll share with you perspective in a moment from someone who is. I'm internal because I'm a Columbus City guy, right? But I'm external to Linden. So can you feel it? Is it something you can feel as a changing program?
Yeah. Sometimes I can feel it, like I can like make me like realize when like it's people like on the outside notice like little things that's changing about us, or say something that's small things about us that I know like we're doing something better.
Okay. Coach, what about you? Can you feel it? Or are you aware that it's happening?
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm very aware. I've worked at Hamilton for 8-9 years. Worked at the Park Center. I worked at Linden Recreation Center even before Hamilton. I've been in the community probably easily for the last 15 plus 20 years. But getting a hold of the program, I want to say when I really noticed it was the second year when we clinched the City North.
Certainly.
And I looked in the crowd. I looked in the crowd at the Beechcroft game, and I almost was a little emotional before the game. I'm like, this is everything I wanted. The community, the way the community came out to support us, students to alumni, it was everything. And you see it now. The community support, especially as we're getting into bigger and bigger games, is everything. The positive words. This year we've been blessed. We've been blessed by so many, from the pastor that comes and does character education through New Albany Presbyterian Church with donations and helping out with gear, and people willing to help out individuals that may need help with shoes.
Beautiful.
Under Armour came and blessed us with gear and jerseys, and that's all due to like word of mouth and knowing and seeing what we do in the community.
Certainly.
So I see the change. Yes, I do see the change.
Well, and let me share with you, right? So like change is contagious, right? Like as people begin to feel it, they want to be a part of stuff that's special. I can remember a time, right? And so this is a shout out. I say this, I like to put people on notice. So this is a shout out to all of our boys basketball coaches. We're gonna stick on basketball because I'm not gonna shout out all the coaches, but all right, like you have the power within you to change programs and communities. I can remember times going to Linden-McKinley boys basketball games, and it would be like 7 or 8 people, like literally, not figuratively, like 7 or 8 people watching the game, right? That on one side, and then you have whatever came from the visiting side, and the game having zero energy, and that's not the Linden experience anymore at all. Right now, you come in and you got to find you a seat, and you got to buckle up, right? Because you all play an exciting brand of basketball, also, right? And so, I'm gonna go back a little bit again here because we're speaking about ups and downs and highs and lows. So 2004, 2005. I'm gonna make sure I had the date right. 2004, 2005. Linden-McKinley wins a regional championship, right? Are you? So I see LA shaking his head like, yeah, I'm aware of that. Are you aware of that one also, LB? Yes, sir. So do you all first? And I'm not trying to trick you. Do you understand what a regional championship means? Like on this scope, on this paradigm, as it moves along, do you understand what that means?
To be honest, I really don't. Honestly.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't been there yet.
There you go. Hey, and I loved it. Did you hear the tagline on the end there?
Yeah. We always.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we haven't been there yet, right? I love that. Coach, break it down for me a little bit, or would you rather I break it down?
You can. We haven't. Obviously, this is the furthest we've been in 4 years in the tournament.
Okay.
And it's even some like I'm like, okay, yeah, that's let me remember, okay, yeah, that's how it goes.
Right.
So I haven't broken it down to them. We talk about history at the beginning of this talk.
Right.
Oh, I came in pointing to the banners, pointing to that banner, pointing to that, pointing to that. We got to get that. we want to be. That's restore order. We want to be like that.
There you
the
go.
60s,
Love it.
boom, and they, AJ 2005.
Certainly.
They know that's the AJ Davis team.
I love it. I was trying to get him
that.
in there, so they know that, right?
Oh yeah, they
yes,
know that.
Indeed.
So
love
I
it.
do hit them with some history with that, so they know that.
Shout out to AJ Davis. AJ gets love on this show.
Shout out to him for sure.
Yes,
he's amazing, and we set up something special for him and in his name. But they don't know the how many games you have to win and all that.
So let me begin to break it down, and without dating the show, this season you all are you've had a triumph of a season, and you're embarking on some special pieces here as you make this run. So the step that you're on right now, right, is a district championship. So you have a recent very big win against Watterson. We won't say it as date, so as listeners are understanding, during this season, you get into the tournament, you have a recent win here against Watterson, and so then the next game is what's called the district championship, right? And that's a local piece. That means that within Central Ohio, you have claimed a portion of the pie of the best, right? And so then after that game, you move to a section that would be remotely close to Central Ohio, but you move outside of the city. And then after you accomplish those games, that's a regional championship. And then that takes you obviously to states. And that's what AJ Davis and those guys accomplished. So share with me, like, the run this season. You're seniors. Just talk about this season. How do you feel? How are things going? Give me a high moment, low moment, whatever pops into your mind this season. What stands out for you, and how has this season been, 21-22 basketball season for you? We'll start with you, LA.
A low moment for me, the beginning of the season when LB had the thing with the transfer rules. Really hard for us. We played some games without him. And a high for me, when he came back, we was like 12 or 13-1. We was on a good winning streak for a little minute. Okay.
How about you, LB? This season, you're a senior, you're playing, you're getting it in, you're having fun. Talk to us about being a senior, this season, and the journey that you guys are on.
I feel like as we was playing, like, we was like never you really 100% like with our players. We was locked in, but preparing or whatever. I feel like it was always more we could have had during each game. Either we won or lost. And I feel like we're bringing that together.
Okay. Clicking at the right time.
Yeah.
Woo, yes,
that's
indeed.
what it is. Yep.
So here, I want to give you both an opportunity also, because like sometimes you don't get a platform to to really talk about yourself. And I know young people, sometimes you're not comfortable to do that, right? And so in practice, a basketball term here, coach, do you all do the 3-man weave drill?
Yeah.
3-man. So everybody understands that, right? You're passing the ball to a teammate. And so what I want to do, we're going to use an analogy of the 3-man weave, but and coach, you're going to be a part of the practice drill this time,
okay.
right?
I got you.
And so coach, I'm going to ask you, you're passing first to LB. Tell me something special. Tell me something about LB. Tell our listeners, brag about LB for a moment, right? Pass him the ball and brag about LB. And LB, when you get the ball, you're going to pass it and you're going to say something positive about LA. LA, you're going to talk about your teammate. You're going to brag about him. You're going to say something special about him. And then LA, after you get the ball, you're going to say something special about Coach, right? So, Coach, it's on you. You're starting this 3-man weave. You're in the middle. You're in the middle. You got the ball first.
I know. I could go on and on about LB. I met LB when he was about 8 years old at the rec. And
for reference, how old are you now?
17.
17. So 10 years ago.
Yep.
Okay.
And Miss Ambrosia that works at the rec, she still does. She said, "You're gonna love this family, Mr. Kevin. You're gonna love this family. They don't do nothing but work hard and love sports." And she said, just always playing and it was winter. She said, "They'd be running over here." I said, "Running over here?" She said, "Yeah, they'll be running over here and just running in the building. Probably have shorts on, tennis shoes." I was like, it's snow out. Yeah, sure enough, LB comes running in the rec. And I say that because running, and she said hardworking family, it's never stopped. LB is just the hardest working. He's the hardest working player I've ever coached.
Wow.
I coached at Columbus State for some years. I had a really good guard. And I tell them about the players I coached. I had a really good guard, and he worked hard with the ball. LB is the hardest working player I've ever coached all around. Obviously, we know the various sports he plays.
Football guy, first team All-City, basketball, first team All-City, track, yes, indeed.
Hardest working, the most respectful kid. I mean, is yes sir, no sir all the time.
Beautiful.
Hard working in the classroom. You do not have to worry about LB in academics. He's going to get it done.
Love it.
If he doesn't get an A, you're surprised.
There you go.
And you know, obviously he goes to Cos and he plays for us. Linden is home school. He lives right down the street.
Yeah.
And you just don't get a better kid than LB. And I've been blessed to meet him and be in his life. I feel like I've been blessed. I feel like he's taught me a lot.
Love it.
You know, he's just taught me a lot. Through you look at yourself in the mirror and you may have some ups and downs as a grown man.
Okay.
And you look at LB and see how he's able to do all of these different things, continue his high standard of academics, and keep pushing forward, always positive, no matter what comes into his life. Man, it's a blessing. LB just, you know, he's a phenomenal kid.
I love it. So now, when I was playing basketball and all the coaches I've had, when we used to do the 3-man weave, when you were about to pass, you had to say ball. So I just need you to yell out ball for us in here so LB knows it's coming to him.
Ball.
All right. So talking about LaShawn Walker.
Woo! You gave your full name out there for the listeners. I love it.
Walker. So actually,
scoot in some. I want the listeners to hear this. Scoot in some. I want the mic to be good on this.
I met LA before high school, before we was hooping for Linden-McKinley, and we was playing, what was it, 8th grade? 8th grade summer year. We was playing for AAU together for King of the Court.
Okay.
And we had a pretty good team, and we never knew we'd be playing high school together.
Love it. Okay.
AAU, we had a solid team. Yeah, and just getting to know him more, and like him and his family and his mom and his dad, and just I never knew like we'd be like this, like the closest we ever been for just growing up.
Certainly. And
just hooping together, like,
and changing the culture.
Yeah.
And just as we both played varsity as freshmen.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And just like when it's
coach broke all the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. That means y'all had a little bit of game. That means y'all had a little bit of game. Okay.
Yeah, just coming in there, changing a lot of things.
Give us some basketball stuff real quick too.
Basketball?
I mean, like I hear the numbers.
Yeah.
I hear what people say. I'm looking at him for our listeners. I'm looking at LA right now, but I hear the numbers and I hear the talk, right? But but can he hoop? Can he go?
Yes. He's like that.
He's like that.
He's like that.
Okay.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
I call him. I think he should have been Mr. Basketball.
Yeah, he says
there you go.
Mr.
Let's
Basketball.
get it.
I call him
Mr. Basketball.
I call him Mr. Basketball.
Let's get it. Okay.
He puts the ball in the hoop.
There you go. Gets buckets.
Can't really guard him.
Okay. So you know what you got to say at the end now.
Ball.
He's the craziest man I've ever met in my life. Screams in practice all the time. Somebody do something. Throw the ball across the gym.
Love
screaming at everybody the whole practice.
Tell the good secrets.
Besides the screaming, he a good dude, a solid dude. I met him my 9th grade year, me, LB, and coach coming in all together. He always talk about changing the culture, changing the program. And us working for 4 years, we changed it, and now we're just living it.
Still working and still living it. Let me share this with you, right? One of the beauties that obviously, Coach, you're a Columbus guy, you are a Mifflin grad, and so one of the beauties about this title that you all don't understand, and you will when you get older, is that us old guys, when you get a chance to coach, I always share this: you get to be coached forever.
Yes.
Right? You get to be coached forever. So even as these young men become adults on their own, they got families and whatever it may be, they'll bring their families one day and they'll introduce their families to you and they'll say, Coach, this is my son, or this is this is my family. You get to wear that title. It's what makes it special. You two young guys, I think the part that's my biggest takeaway today, and I can see the bond and the connection that you have with your coach. But to hear you say, Coach Darthard, the love and what you've been able to gain from these young people, it speaks to you being real and being open with them, right? Because a lot of times you can't connect with young people unless you're willing to take your own shield down. I see a lot of adults that struggle, and I say, well, you haven't allowed your own self to be seen to your kids or your players or your team. So how can you expect them to begin to show themselves to you? And so I am appreciative. We are appreciative, Columbus City Schools, of not only your work that you're doing every day out there in the classroom and on the court and representing Linden and representing our school system. I'm appreciative to be able to come and watch you participate, play, and have fun. So right now we're at this stage where everybody is City League, right? And so during this tournament time here, you all had a game at the same time as one of our sister schools, Columbus Beechcroft. Yep. And so Columbus Beechcroft gets a win in the tournament. You all get a win in the tournament. Columbus Afrocentric gets a win in the tournament, and you all are advancing as we continue down this road. I saw that you had a guest. Someone sent me a post and they said, "Hey man, look at this. This is a part of City League Love." And so share with our listeners a little bit about you bringing out. And you tell us who'd you bring out, what'd you do, and give us a little bit of life behind that.
Well, Coach, it was Coach Spears, the great Coach Spears,
Columbus South High School. There you go. Sorry, let's go ahead.
We won our game against Hartley in the second round, and it was a tough fought game. Obviously, we know Hartley is a CCL school. People get into the refereeing and all that. I did get a tech, but, Okay. Anyway, we won our game, get home that night, and I'm watching film and stuff and just prepping. And there is a group chat with the coaches we have.
Certainly.
And for a while now, even before my 4 years coaching, you hear this narrative of people saying, and I heard it this year at a game. I was actually scouting Beechcroft when they played at Afrocentric. They played Hilliard Bradley.
Oh, okay. Right.
You heard it behind me. And Beechcroft did lose. Whatever, you lose some, win some, right. But obviously we know the success they had. But this narrative that I hear often, you got to get your kid out of the kind of Columbus City School if you want to be good. That they only gonna go so far. You got to get them into one of those other schools. You hear this narrative, and you've heard this narrative for a while. We all know we've heard it. And so I said to myself, well, a coach is out, or one of our great coaches is out the tournament. Why not? Why let that mind just be out and not try to use it?
Certainly.
So I group text everyone. Hey, we gonna fight like dogs with each other. We know that. We gonna compete.
100%.
We're gonna compete.
City League is one of the best leagues in the state of Ohio. Period.
Exactly. And I'm like, but after that, and we get to this, the tournament,
this stage, right?
Why can't we can help each other?
Certainly.
Give each other a jewel. Give each other some film. Come talk. So I reached out anybody that need my help, and I told them, even though we won, anybody that needs my help, and anybody in here that can help me. But several coaches, I won't say names, but several coaches responded, and then next thing you know, Coach Spears responded directly.
Yeah.
And I went further. Can you come to practice? He said, yeah. What time? He came to film. They were there. He came to film, sat there and filmed with us. He came to practice, and he was in practice. And at the end, he said, I got into my assistant coaching mode because we know he's he's a head guy. He's writing down
state runner-up head guy.
Oh man, he's writing down statistics of our numbers of how many passes with the shots we done took in a row and all this.
Beautiful.
He gives it to me. We're breaking that down. I used it before the game. You can ask him. I used it before the game yesterday.
Yeah,
and it helped. He came to the game, text him again, and said, if you want to come today, you can. You only get 1 day. We only get 1 day prep.
Right.
And he said, sure. So this City Strong hashtag is for real.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think you see it. Obviously we didn't take the same bracket as Beechcroft. I think you see it. We're going to beat up on each other. But if we go into this tournament and Division I, Division II, Division III teams, on any given year we can have several teams advancing, and you don't have to. And especially if we use our resources, you don't have to.
Yes, indeed. And let me share with you, right? Because I hear the narrative But what many people don't know is that the narrative that and what is said is not the reality. So when you look back at the last 10 years, I can just start a laundry list of teams that have been down to the state Final Four. You know, Eastmore got down there, Walnut Ridge got down there.
Eastmore
so we've had Afrocentric has been down there, and teams make their way. Right, South, right, forgot about South. We're just talking about Coach Spears. So the success is there, the power of one. You young people continue to do your part. We're fortunate to have you on the show here today. I'm getting the signal from behind that says we got to start to wrap it up, which is beautiful, right? We get to spend about a half an hour of time together.
We appreciate it.
I'm gonna let each of you get a lasting comment. LB, we'll start here with you. Make a comment, and then I'll start to read the outro, man, and we'll take off here. So just say anything you want to share with who's ever listening as you sound off here today.
I just want to thank everyone that's listening and anyone that's hearing and using what I'm saying for inspiration.
Love it. LA, what you got?
Appreciate y'all for having us here, man. It was a great honor to be here.
I appreciate that. Coach?
Once again, just thank you. Anything that's going to shine a light positively on these boys and the program. I want to say that obviously we're here talking about them, and we're talking about the run that we're making. But as I said yesterday, it wouldn't be without the shoulders of the players that's played, especially that I've coached, from the Chances to the Shamarians, to the CJs, to the Qs, to the Keishans, to the Amaris that come to game, the Logans. They help change this culture.
Love it.
They help get us here. So I want to say thanks to them, and thanks to anybody that has helped out in any way.
Right, you know, when you walk into Linden, you feel the love from a lot of people within the building, from the leadership all the way down. You all are great examples of Panthers, great examples of Columbus City Schools. I'm gonna read the outro, but I love that you all got a chance to have a platform here to share your thoughts, your stories. So for us, that's all we have today. Thank you for listening. Much love to our guests for coming through. Be sure to catch all the future episodes on WCBE Radio 90.5. You can also catch us on Spotify, Apple, or the platform you prefer to listen to your favorite podcast. Additionally, follow us on Instagram at City League Sports 614. Till next time, I'm your host, Vince Clarno. This is City League Sports. We are out.
Thank you.